Hello, welcome to my first ever recipe video. Today I'm making an easy pumpkin mac and cheese. It's a vegan plant-based recipe. Really easy. You can easily make it gluten-free by just buying gluten-free pasta. Otherwise, there's no gluten in the recipe for those of you that can't have gluten. So I started by boiling my pasta, and I had already prepared everything else. So my broccoli I'll throw in when there's just a couple minutes left to cook on the pasta. That way it doesn't get mushy, and it just cooks just enough. I like it to still have a little bite to it. I'm a little all over the place in this video because it's my first time, and in my head I had a vision, and it's not quite what I envisioned, but I imagine practice will make my videos better. But I think the recipe is pretty clear in this video. So while that's cooking, I took a half a cup of flax milk. You can use any plant-based milk that you have. And I mixed it with a teaspoon of tapioca starch to make a slurry to thicken the sauce. Just so that was ready. Then you just mix it up, and I'll probably stir it again before I add it, just filling the time a little bit. Oh, I keep trying to not let moisture get on my cutting board because it gets stains, but it's futile. It's silly. I shouldn't care as much. So the pasta's finished. Now it's time to get the sauce ready. For the sauce, I used a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Really easy. To the pumpkin, I'm going to add all my spices. So we have, and nooch, a 1/3 cup of nooch to start. I'll add more later because I love it. A teaspoon of turmeric, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of paprika, a little bit of pepper, put as much as you like. I like to add more later. And then my wet ingredients for the sauce are going to be a tablespoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon or so of Dijon mustard. Again, some of this stuff is to taste. I like Dijon mustard, so I add it to everything. And a couple teaspoons of garlic paste, or the equivalent of about 4 cloves of garlic, or you can use garlic powder. Just to taste, because some people don't like a lot of garlic. I love garlic, so that was fine with me. And then you're going to blend this all up. My blender's over another area, so... Oh, actually, I forgot. You can do a cup of pasta water, or add a cup of vegetable broth to the pumpkin mix. I just happened to be making veggie stock before I did this recipe, so it was cooked just in time. So I was able to use it in my mac and cheese recipe, which worked out perfect and gave it a lot of extra flavor. But you can use water, you can use whatever you want. I love my pressure cooker. This thing is amazing. If you don't have one, cooks beans really fast. So here's my cup of veggie stock, fresh out of the pot. Now I'm gonna blend it up. Of course, my blender is away from there, so we'll just stare at my cutting board and half a cup of milk with a teaspoon of tapioca starch, just sitting waiting. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Da, da. Yay! So you're going to get your pot ready because you're going to want to heat this pumpkin mixture with the plant milk and tapioca mixture just until it gets warm and bubbly. And it will be a little messy because once it starts to bubble, it will start to spurt everywhere, of course. I made a giant mess. But that's okay. Embrace the mess. Embrace it. Well, that took a while. So funny. If you could hear that knock in the background just now, there was a door-to-door salesman. Why are there still door-to-door salesmen? Isn't that what the internet is for? Anyway, so you're going to add your milk mixture to your pumpkin mixture. And if you have one of these cool gadgets, I don't know what it's called, some kind of a whisk, it makes it really easy to do sauces and keep it from sticking on the bottom. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir some more. And my camera work gets really crappy after this, but that's okay because you get it. It's about content. Video quality will improve later. Oh, yep, now you can take a taste and see if you need to add anything. I probably will add nooch because it's a vegan thing. Yep, there it goes. So more nooch, of course. And I probably add some when I eat it too. Da-dee-da. I thought I cut some of this out, but that's okay. I love this induction plate. It's just a cheap one, but it boils water in like less than 5 minutes. And I mean, it just cooks everything so fast because even when you add something cold and the temperature drops, it's so fast to bring it back up. It's such a cool thing. And my gas stove, I just feel like it's so wasteful sometimes to burn all that gas just to cook stuff or just to boil water, you know. So this thing is awesome. If you don't have an induction plate or an induction stove, I recommend trying one or getting one. All right, so it looks like the sauce is about to start bubbling. There it goes, splurt, splurt. So we're gonna add the macaroni and the broccoli back in and then just heat it through. There it goes. You go, girl. Get all that macaroni in there. All right, so just stir it up. Oh, here we go. My awesome film work. Stir it all in. Stir it, stir it. So to start, I'm just using my cell phone camera, and if you could see, I have one of those things that you attach to like a table so you can just have your cell phone like standing free in front of you. You don't have to hold it. And that's hanging from a light so that you can see straight down. It's quite a setup, but it worked today, so we'll work on the rest later and improving that. All right, so here it is, all finished. Pumpkin mac and cheese, but not really cheese. I have so many not cheese recipes because I loved cheese so much before that I've tried to recreate it so many times that um, I can't stick with one recipe. I just love them all. I've recently made mozzarella and queso, all kinds of different variations. Maybe I'll make some for future videos. We'll see. Here it is. Are you impressed? I'm impressed. And it was delicious. Even my puppy approved. Yes, he got a bite. It's healthy. It's got turmeric in it, and nooch, and broccoli. Dogs can eat it too. He's not a vegan, but um, that's okay. He loves his vegetables as well. So here we go. Of course, I topped it with a little extra nooch and a little fresh ground pepper.